Israel is closing a key crossing from the occupied West Bank to Jordan indefinitely, days after a shooter killed 2 Israeli soldiers on the Jordanian side of the border. The Allenby Bridge Crossing is the only exit for Palestinians in the occupied West Bank that does not lead to Israel. Most Palestinians depend on it to travel abroad via Jordan. It's also a key gateway for goods into the territory. The UN says its closure will also impact aid deliveries into Gaza. Israel has occupied the West Bank since 1967. For more on this, let's go now to Jerusalem and our correspondent Emily Gordine. Emily, help us understand, how important is this crossing and what does the closure mean going forward?
Well, this closure is essentially another example of the stark reality of what it means when a territory is under occupation. For the 3.3 million Palestinians who live in the occupied West Bank, this border, the Allenby Bridge, is the main gateway for them to leave the country, if you want. This is the main way in which they can travel abroad. So this closure essentially means that they are stuck either in the West Bank or abroad. But of course, this also has an impact on the economy of Palestinians in the West Bank, which has already been hard hit by the almost 1,000 checkpoints that Israel has put in place, and which makes travelling across the territory incredibly difficult, but also by the fact that Israel has revoked hundreds of work permits for Palestinians in the West Bank to come and work in Israel. So this closure now really adds fuel to the fire. But of course, the Allenby Bridge is also vital for the aid that has been coming into the Gaza Strip, where famine at this point is widespread and where Israel has been accused by various human rights organizations and by an independent UN commission of committing genocide. And the UN, for its part, certainly has said that if the closure persists and if there is no viable alternative, then this will have a significant impact on humanitarian organizations' abilities to bring much-needed aid to Gaza.
Israel says the closure is a response to last week's shooting attack that led to the death of 2 Israeli soldiers. Is that a common Israeli response after such incidents?
Well, it is common for the Israeli authorities to shut the border after such incidents. We saw this last year when a shooter attacked and killed 3 Israeli border workers last year. Israel closed the border for about 2 days, but then reopened it. And what's unusual in this case is that the Israeli authorities closed the border after the incident, reopened it, and now closed it again. But what you have to keep in mind here is that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday announced that the Israeli government would respond to the wave of Palestinian state recognitions that we saw this week at the UN. So this can be seen in this context. For example, it certainly shows or makes the point that when it comes to Palestinian borders, it is Israel that has full sovereignty and full control over who goes and leaves.
Emily Gordine in Jerusalem, thank you.